recipients, or donors, by the way. This can also work from donors. And we amplify out of those bone marrow samples cells that are called mesenchymal stem cells. Again, a stem cell can divide and turn into another type of cell. So the bone marrow mesenchymal stem cells are stem cells. When we injected those stem cells into patients' hearts, we've started to uncover evidence that they can actually cause injured hearts to repair. And so that's been a major advance in the field, and we hope to test this sufficiently for the Food and Drug Administration to approve this one day.
Well, then, as an expert in cardiovascular medicine, can you tell us about the use of stem cells in that area specifically?
Yeah, so the biggest problem, the biggest killer in the United States right now is heart attack. People have heart attacks, a part of their heart muscle dies, turns into a scar, and that's a permanent injury, or at least we've considered it a permanent injury up until now. But by taking the mesenchymal stem cells, we've shown that we can reduce the scar and heal the injury. Now, we've made another new discovery that's very exciting, which is that the heart also has cardiac stem cells. And we think that the cardiac stem cells are a much more powerful way to heal the injury from a heart attack.
Now, hold on right there. I have a friend of mine who, a number of years ago, this is the guy that prompted me to get the cardiac stress test, and I came out fine. I'm okay, everybody. But he had had a bad toothache one day, took some aspirin. Then when he went in to have a workup for other surgery, they found out that he had had a heart attack and that he had lost 1/3 of his heart. Is that something that can be repaired now?
That's exactly the target we're after with the stem cell therapy. So people lose a huge amount of their contracting heart muscle, and what happens is that the heart, which is like a compact football, blows up like a balloon. That's the problem that causes heart failure, a problem called sudden cardiac death, where people just drop dead. And so, in fact, that's our target. That's what we're after. We're trying to make that better.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if he'd qualify for your program because he has other issues, but we'll talk about that. This is one of my most beloved friends, and I want him in your program if we could ever work that out. Now, what does stem cell therapy mean in terms of the future and evolution of medicine as we know it? I mean, it sounds like you've got some incredible stuff on the horizon.
Yeah, we really think that this is transformative. Just the way that antibiotics were transformative about 100 years ago, this is a new approach to treating diseases that we consider to have unmet needs. We don't have things that can reduce the size of a heart attack or a stroke or restore a kidney back to normal or back to functioning. So we're thrilled at the prospect of using cells to treat diseases and to heal injuries that are presently not healable.
Well, you're talking about a wide spectrum of things. We've only talked about the heart. What are some of the other ongoing trials in the UHealth system? And remember, we call UHealth, but it's really the University of Miami medical system and health system. What are some of the ongoing things at the UHealth system for stem cell therapy in various areas of medicine?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm glad you asked that. We believe that the same stem cells that can reduce a heart attack can also reduce a stroke. So I'm working with a colleague named Dilip Yavagal who runs the stroke treatment center at UHealth. And we're testing whether or not the same cells in the heart can also reduce the size of a stroke. We're very excited about that. We're using stem cell therapies to heal wounds in the skin that are presently not healing.
A-cell, right?
A-cell.
Is that something you're using? Have you ever heard? My wife had some type of A-cell stuff. She had a wound that wasn't healing.
No, that's different.
Okay.
That's different from cell-based therapy per se. So cell-based therapy uses cells, and so basically we're...
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you off.
Okay.
I just thought I scored again and I knew something that a layman wouldn't know. I'm always trying to be smarter than I am. Sorry.
You know, what you're going to hear about, and this, I'm sure this is going to come up on your show again, everybody is excited about this, and from a marketing perspective, everybody's trying to come up with a cell-based therapy now. But I think people need to be careful and go to reputable programs like UHealth that are really doing reputable science and using the cells that we think are the best cells to heal an injury or a disease.
Yes, actually, my wife got the cell-based surgery at UHealth, and it was not available to her at the hospital she had gone to prior to. So it's very interesting. Now, how would somebody know if they qualify for stem cell therapy? I hope you're listening out there, buddy.
I think that people can reach out to us on our website or call us or email us. There's going to be a huge amount of information going forward available, and getting information, as you point out, is one of the most crucial things. So if you think you've got a disease that could be treated by stem cells, just get on the web and try to find information, but contact reputable programs like the Stem Cell Institute at the University of Miami. We are, by the way, one of the largest translational programs in the United States.
Now, translational programs, now that's a kind of fancy way of saying you can take it from the research lab and apply the direct new technology.
Absolutely. We call it bench to bedside research, or research that takes a concept into the clinic. But that's absolutely correct, because it's so important with medical discoveries to translate them. We have a whole program around educating the next generation of science in translational research, and there's been a big gap in that previous. But we've really focused at the Stem Cell Institute on translation because it's so important for people. We want to make it as rapid as possible.
Now, we're here with Josh Hare, MD. Josh is the Louis Lemberg Professor and Director of Interdisciplinary Stem Cell Institute at UHealth, the University of Miami Health System. Josh, how does somebody get a hold of you specifically if they wanted to talk about cardiac stem cell treatment?
I think the best thing is to send me an email at jhare@med.miami.edu. I'll pass along that email to the appropriate person, and somebody will be back in touch with you. Or find us on the web by just Googling stem cell at the University of Miami.
Now, what can we expect to see from UHealth, the University of Miami Health System, the ISCI, the Institute of the Interdisciplinary Stem Cell Institute at UHealth, and the Miller School of Medicine in the coming years? There's got to be some really, really cool stuff on the horizon.
That's a great question. Thank you for asking. And we are gearing up to take these ideas into every organ system. We're so excited about this. I'm working with 15 departments at the Miller School at UHealth, trying to engage every disease area to get involved in regenerative medicine. Specifically, we're very focused on a program for vision. I'm working with Jeff Goldberg from Bascom Palmer to try to come up with stem cells that can heal vision loss, hearing, bone disease, skin disease, lung disease, kidney disease, brain disease, you name it. We're going to apply our ideas about regenerative medicine and cell-based therapy to just about every problem that you can imagine, specifically the problems that are presently have unmet need, that are presently not well treated by other conventional means.
Well, I saw that they got multiple sclerosis sort of under control. I'm hoping that you can get some of these other real mean, nasty things under control. What do you think the next thing is up on the horizon? What's the next thing that we'll be able to put a pencil through the line and line through it and think we've got it done?
I think that stroke is going to be has a huge unmet need, and one in which we've already started to see results in the laboratory. If we can fix the brain after a stroke or reduce the size of a stroke, that's just going to be huge. That's going to lead us into other diseases of the brain, other very serious problems like Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, Huntington's disease, Lou Gehrig's disease, things that are really devastating to people right now and are diseases of loss of cells. So that's why cell-based therapy ought to work. We replace or regenerate missing tissues.
Yeah, I saw a special about the genetic marking for the specific diseases you were talking about, since that they were so easily found to be easy to identify on the chromosome because of the missing thing. And I guess they were talking about coming at it from the cellular level. I guess you're coming at the DNA level, you're coming at it from the cellular level.
Right. And think about coupling those two ideas together. If you can predict ahead of time who's going to get a disease or how a person's going to do, then you can prepare stem cells for them in advance. This is actually another big project that we have, particularly with heart disease, we've developed genetic markers that can help tell us whether a patient's going to be alive or dead in 5 years. We can target the stem cell therapy to the patient who's going to do the worst.
How come the world doesn't know about this?
More people need to come on your show.
I'm telling you, this is amazing stuff. We got to make sure this gets everywhere. Johnny, you better be tweeting your fingers off about this.
Yes, sir.
Doctor, one more time, if people want to find out about you, get a hold of you, how do they do that?
Email is best, jhare@med.miami.edu, or on the web, just Google us at Stem Cell Institute, University of Miami, and we will come right up.
Josh Hare, MD, thank you for coming on the show and bringing us a glimpse of the future. This is Jim Freed for Freed on Business. We'll be right back after this short break with Social Media 305. John Mahoney, high five. Turn the music on.